Pennsylvania. Sanctuary cities are releasing violent illegal immigrants onto our streets with the help of Bob Casey. Casey voted repeatedly to fund these dangerous sanctuary cities. Casey's policy let more illegals, more criminals loose in our neighborhoods, making our families less safe. Worse, instead of deporting criminal illegals, Casey voted to give them amnesty. Casey's amnesty would give illegal immigrants your Social Security and Medicare. That's right, Casey would give your benefits to illegals, but he'd also make you pay more. Casey voted for higher taxes on seniors' Social Security benefits. Seniors can't afford higher taxes? Bob Casey, taxing you to pay illegals. It's just another Casey con job. It's time for a change. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Made for living, made for life. Burkholder's Flooring.
It's time to change that flooring to match you. Talk to Burkholder's Flooring about your floors and your designs. They'll help you do what's best for your house and create the look that speaks to you and fits your personality. Burkholder's Flooring, where flooring is done right. Burkholder's Flooring, Pennsylvania Avenue, Hagerstown. Quality you can stand on.
Burkholder's Flooring.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties. It's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Let's talk Tri-State.
Welcome to the Monday edition of Let's Talk Tri-State. It's all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice. They were a winner in the 2024 Best of the Tri-State. How was your weekend, buddy?
Restful and well-deserved, that rest, because last week was quite a doozy.
Yes, it was.
For both of us. And so, yeah, I got my rest and I got caught up on some yard work, which it was a beautiful weekend to do
It
that.
really was. A little rainy yesterday, but Saturday, what a picture.
We didn't get any rain.
You didn't?
No. I mean, it's just Waynesboro. I know other places did, but we didn't get, I guess we're just protected.
Wow.
God knew I needed to do yard work.
Yeah, apparently. Wow. Just 8-mile difference from rain to no rain.
I've seen it where it's raining on one side of the road and not on the other. You ever seen one of those?
No.
Yeah. That happened several
Are you
times.
making this up?
No, when I was a kid, I swear. On my street I grew up on.
Interesting. You
Dry
tell me,
on one side.
You
And
tell me some things that I'm never quite sure if they're real
well,
or not.
now think about it, Katie. The rain would have to stop somewhere.
Yes.
So there would naturally be a line or a delineation where it would be raining.
I can't imagine it'd be that distinct. Like from here to here is where the rain stops.
Well, it wasn't street in Hager, Maryland Avenue.
I mean, you never know.
Well,
let's talk about the weather today. No rain in the forecast. Sunshine high right around 60. Clear skies tonight. Low 39.
chilly.
And then tomorrow sunny again. The high is going to be 56. Today marks the 288th day of the year. Do some quick math. How many days are remaining in 2024?
80 couple, I believe.
78.
Wow.
Let's make them count. Today we celebrate World Standards Day. So raise those standards or don't be afraid to have high standards.
And for some people, were it not for double standards, they'd have no standards at all.
And it's also, I thought of you for this one, Be Bald and Be Free Day. So show off your beautiful bald scalp and just be free with it. And maybe just remember to put a little bit of suntan lotion on it if you are going out into the sunshine. But we do love this bald head, and I know you love when I know you love when I do that. Back on this day, what is today? Monday, October 14th already.
Can't believe it. I've lost track of October. Halfway through.
Tomorrow's the middle of the month already.
Which is payday.
Okay, I do like that. So we're probably right around 17 days till Halloween. I mean, I'm here for that.
Well, we're not right around. We are 17 days.
Is that? Yeah. Am I doing my math correctly?
17 and 14 is 31.
Okay.
Every day of the week.
You're faster at math than I am. It was back on this day in 1926 that the original Winnie the Pooh novel was released. It was, let's do trivia.
Okay.
1964, this civil rights leader won a Nobel Peace Prize. Martin Luther King. And he was just 35, the youngest person ever to win the prize at that time.
Okay.
In 1912, a former president delivered a speech immediately after being shot.
Harding?
Mm-mm.
Coolidge?
Nope.
I don't know. Cleveland.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, Teddy. Oh, that's right. He got shot. And he was, when he got shot, I believe there was a button or something that blocked the bullet. Something.
Wow.
I remember hearing something about the bullet was blocked, and And afterwards, he literally got up and continued giving the speech after just being shot.
Ooh.
Teddy Roosevelt was tough.
Yeah.
And his motto was speak softly but carry a big stick. And he did.
I can't imagine that. Today is a Monday, as we've already discussed.
I know you didn't mean it like this, but almost today.
And let's discuss Mondays because they're tough days of the week.
Yeah.
How many of us feel less productive, or we're just coming off the weekend, we're tired, maybe still a little stressed out, and it's hard to get motivated and get going into the week. Even if you maintain a steady weight, and I'm sorry, I'm about to hit you with a bunch of bad news. Scientists have found that Monday is the day of the week when you will weigh the most, no matter what you've done over the weekend.
It's logical because what you've done over the weekend usually includes overeating.
But you normally on the weekends I do more exercising than I do during the week.
Do you think, if you're really honest with yourself, that it does? It probably doesn't balance itself out.
No, I eat like a hog, especially on Sundays.
Weekends are toughest for me too.
I love on Sundays. It's become my thing. On Sundays, I love to clean my apartment top to bottom and have a little bit of champagne as I'm doing it, and then order pizza, and then watch a horror movie.
And all the while in your spooky underwear and your pajamas and
yeah, it's really fun in my household.
Cuddled up in your blanket with Winnie?
With Winnie, yes, me and Winnie. Also on Mondays, almost 50% of employees are late to work. Professionals.
I was on time today.
I was on time today as well. I was a little early.
A little early, yes, you were. Yeah.
Professionals over 40 are the biggest demographic to suffer more stress.
Get out.
On a Monday. I was reading a statistic as well that said, this was in the UK, not in the US, but it's probably a little similar, that on a Monday, the average person doesn't smile in the UK until 11:40 a.m.
Okay.
That's a long time to go without smiling.
Well, but if it were you, you're not usually up until 10. So
I get up, well, I have insomnia, so I'm normally up at 3:30.
Yeah.
But how do you not see your cat or your children or your spouse, and that makes you smile?
You know, you're not going to believe this about me, but it's true. The first thing I like to do when I wake up and get out of bed is smile. Big. And just get it over with. Be done with it.
In the mirror?
No, just smile and get it over with.
So you just wake up. Can we see what that looks like?
No, I've never seen what it looks like.
So you just get up?
Yeah.
Like that?
I missed the joke. I just want to smile and get it over with. And I'm done for the day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not catch that joke.
Wow.
I'm thinking of you being an absolute creep, just like smiling big.
No, well, like
The Maryland State Police, at the request of the Harford County Sheriff's Office, have issued a Maryland Child Amber Alert for Khalil Rodney Ringgold, a 7-year-old black male, further being described as 3 feet 5 inches and 32 pounds. The child was last observed at approximately 8:35 a.m. in the area of 29 Level Road in Churchville, Harford County. A possible suspect vehicle is a gray Nissan Altima bearing Ohio tag JFK 3146. Anyone with information is asked to immediately call 911 or the Harford County Sheriff's Office at 410-612-1717. Do not take action which can endanger your safety or further endanger the abducted child.
Branding media mugs are great. You can have yours too, all for the low price of $19.95. But wait, there's more. If you act now, we'll throw in a free flashlight that you don't have enough of.
First of all, you can never have enough flashlights.
It's like, did you ever notice there was a while where there was a period where all the infomercials seemed like the bonus was a flashlight? If you act now, I mean, it could be anything that has nothing to do where you would ever need a flashlight. They could be selling highlighters. Look at these great highlighters. If you act now, here's a flashlight.
I don't think I recall any of this, but I do love a nice, heavy, with some heft to it, flashlight that I put. Hang on. I have one in my car, and then I have one on all of my side tables in my house, but they're expensive. I like the
good ones.
The good ones from Costco, where you can buy a pack of 6 or 7 for $30, $40.
The Costco one, coincidentally, that's what I was going to say. I bought one from Costco, and it is, I forget how many thousands of lumens. It's about this long, and it's got that heft to it that I like that you were just talking about. And I swear that a 737 could see this from 30,000 feet and land in my backyard, as bright as this thing is.
It makes you feel good about yourself, doesn't it?
It really does.
Makes
actually,
you feel more manly, doesn't it?
I walk out backyard daylight, pitch black.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very bright idea there.
It is necessarily like
I'm sure they don't.
Well, you know what? Then they should put clothes on. It's not my fault.
I think it's time to get to the good word of the day.
Hi, this is Pastor Tim Beitzel from First Assembly of God in Shippensburg, PA. By the way, you can check us out on the web at www.agshp.org. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about Jesus' words, actually an introduction to Jesus' words in Matthew chapter 5. If you're following Jesus and you read your Bible, you will recognize Matthew 5 as containing the Beatitudes, and the further passage in the next few chapters is what we call the Sermon on the Mount. And a lot of the things that Jesus has to say in these passages seems very, very hard for us to understand. But I want to draw your attention to something in the opening verses of Matthew chapter 5, reading today from the New Living Translation, verses 1 and 2. Listen. One day, as he saw the crowds gathering, Jesus went up on the mountainside and sat down. His disciples gathered around him, and he began to teach them. What struck me this morning as I was looking at that is this. Those whom he was teaching were those who were following him. If you're following Jesus, we have to be willing to be taught by him. Jesus, fully God and fully man, because he was fully human, needed to get away from the hustle and bustle of the crowd, the people that were following after him for what they could get from him. So Jesus pulled away from the crowd, gathered his closest disciples around him, and began to teach. Listen, if you're following Jesus, we need to spend time at his feet. We need to spend time letting him teach us. Even if the things that he is teaching us seem difficult to handle, here's one thing you have to remember. Jesus' teaching are for our benefit. God is not out to cramp your style. He's out to give you a better life, a life that is full and abundant. Thank you for joining me again today. Remember that as you sit at the feet of Jesus, be willing to let him teach you, even if those truths can be hard at times. God bless you. See you next time.
There's a lot of important things that are happening in the month of October, and I think one of the most important is definitely breast cancer awareness.
Absolutely.
And with it being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, a emeritus physician is offering some advice on how to reduce the risk of getting the disease and how to check for it. Dr. Anne Marie Huff with the Emeritus Center for Breast Health said that there are some standard practices women can do to stave off developing breast cancer and preventing death from it. And she goes on to say, while evidence-based guidelines suggest that breast self-examinations do not reduce breast cancer deaths, it is still important for women to have awareness on how their breasts look and feel and how to report any changes from the normal to their provider, she says. So just know your body, know what feels normal, know what feels abnormal, and don't be afraid to ask somebody if something does feel abnormal and you're thinking, oh, I don't know if that's normally there. Is that a lump? Better safe than sorry. Go and get it checked out.
I think what interests me the most about what you just read is that it says that there's evidence that says that it does not lessen the chances of death if you do a self-examination, which I've been told that for years. I think we've all heard that. So certainly, I agree. Don't stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Just go ahead and keep doing that. Know how you feel, how you know something's not right. No, I've always said this about anything. No one knows your body better than you.
Of course.
And if something feels off, it's like when a week or so ago when I had the flu, I could feel something different coming on. And I'm certainly not comparing the flu to breast cancer, but just knowing your body. And then eventually, I kept saying to myself for several hours, something isn't right. Something just does not feel right. Before you know it, boom, flu comes.
And I think that not everybody knows what to be feeling for.
Right.
And so I remember when I starting my own exams, I had to Google and look at a chart and think, okay, is this a normal bump and lump,
Right.
or is this abnormal? So don't be afraid to have those conversations and ask somebody and Google it and look at pictures.
Otherwise, you're really getting in your head if you
Right,
feel
of course.
something that could be completely normal, but you're freaking out.
Right, exactly.
Berkeley County false alarm calls. Now, this is something I had not thought about, but there are calls that we think are legitimate to 911, and a lot of times it's not that they're not legitimate, but they don't necessarily qualify as an emergency, which means they would qualify as a false alarm. So officials are urging residents and businesses to do their part to ease the demand on first responders by taking some steps to prevent false alarms at their property. Now, with approximately 4,000 false alarms and hold-up alarms in Berkeley County alone each year. Now,
that's a lot.
By the way, this is from Berkeley County, but I think that this could apply
Everywhere.
to Franklin County, Washington County, our entire listening and viewing area. Sheriff Rob Blair says that the response to the scene of actual emergencies is being negatively impacted. So he gives the example, one less false alarm call could be the difference of receiving life and death care at an actual emergency call. So law enforcement, EMS, and Berkeley County are dispatched to more than 50,000 calls annually, providing public safety and emergency services across more than 300 square miles of the county. So that just goes to show you, if you throw in Franklin County, Washington County, and their individual fire, EMS, and police, there are a lot of calls coming in. So just be aware and see what qualifies and does not qualify as an emergency.
And I think it's also important to think about, if you have an alarm system, does everybody know the code?
We have that here.
And is it something that you can remember under pressure? Because I'm sure that's a lot of it too. An alarm goes off, the phone's ringing, the alarm's going off, and you can't remember what your code is, and then they have to send somebody out.
Well, there was a time here where I set off the alarm, and I knew what the code was, and the phone's ringing. The problem was I don't know how to answer the phone.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, make sure everybody knows how to answer the phone. You know, that could be problem one.
You may want to consider if that person should be an employee or not, if they don't know how to answer the phone.
Honestly, Tiny, I don't know if I know how to answer the phone here.
It's bad for me too. I barely know how to answer mine. Actually, in my office, I don't answer the phone because it automatically, and I'm not going to change this setting, picks up to speakerphone. So after I think 1 or 2 rings. So I'm leaving it at that because I don't have to worry about answering it.
Sometimes I'll answer the calls out front, but I don't know how to put them on hold. I don't know how to transfer them anywhere
hung up
else.
on our owner once.
I know, I did. I didn't mean to do that. So
Poor Mr. V.
make sure everybody knows the alarm code and, of course, how to answer their phone. And now let's check in with sports with Andy.
Here's what happened in sports over the weekend in Washington County, according to the Herald Mail. On Friday, Broad Fording beat Christian Lighthouse in volleyball 3-1, winning with scores of 25-16, 25-12, and 25-15. Happening tonight, Monday, October 14th, Frederick Force takes on Grace Academy at 5:45. Lighthouse Christian takes on Hancock at 6:30. Urbana travels to Boonesboro. That game starts at 7. And Thomas Johnson takes on Williamsport in Williamsport at 7. In girls soccer, on Friday, Boonesboro took down Clear Spring in overtime, beating them 3-2, while Brunswick blanked Williamsport 5-0 in Williamsport. In boys soccer, on Friday evening, Grace Academy beat Carroll Christian 3-2, while Flint Hill beat St. James 1-0. This past Saturday, St. James beat Bishop Walsh 5-4, and tonight, Clear Spring travels to Boonesboro to take them on at 7 p.m. In varsity football, Jefferson traveled to South Hagerstown this past Friday and beat them 48-14. And for flag football, coming up tonight, Catoctin takes on Smithsburg, game time at 5 p.m. Here are your football scores from around Franklin County, according to ScoreStream. The Juniata Indians traveled to Greencastle Antrim Blue Devils this past Friday. The Blue Devils came out on top, 40-21. The Altoona Lions beat the Chambersburg Trojans in Chambersburg, 21-14. In Berkeley County football action, the Martinsburg Bulldogs beat the Morgantown Mohegans 51-14. In Franklin County sports for boys soccer, the Trojans fall to previously winless Altoona Mountain Lions. The Shippensburg Greyhounds ran their record up to 8-0 with another dominating performance in a 42-0 win over visiting Redland. And Greencastle Antrim boys soccer team hangs on for the win against the Bermudian Springs Eagles, 4-3. In the girls' Class 3A tournament for golf, Wrench improved her Thursday first-round score by 4 strokes, enabling her to move from 6th to 3rd place. She finished 11 strokes behind the winner, Piper Smith of Manheim Township, and 2 behind the runner-up, Ellie Overly of Warwick. Beckenball also advanced in golf postseason action. Beckenball finished 1 stroke back of Wrench in 4th place after shooting a 79 on Saturday. She had 9s of 41, 38, and parred the final 7 holes of the back 9. In cross-country action in Franklin County sports, the Trojan boys and girls placed 2nd in Mid-Penn cross-country. The Mid-Penn Conference cross-country championships at Big Spring happened Saturday morning, and plenty of Franklin County runners had a great day. Chambersburg's girls were 2nd in the Class 3A team standings and put 2 girls in the top 9. The Trojan boys also placed 2nd and had 2 runners in the top 10.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach at 921thegoat.com.
The JR JR Sport Brief on the Infinity Sports Network.
Am I going to favor them to win the championship this year? The answer is no. That'll be the greatest miracle because this is the New York Jets. And unfortunately, what's most likely is that one day Aaron Rodgers packs his bags and says, I want to leave. The New York Jets don't have a coach, and the New York Jets are going to have to start from scratch and suck for many more years because another Green Bay Packers experiment quarterback screwed them. This is JR of the JR Sport Brief on 92.1 The Go.
Saturday and Sunday, October 19th and 20th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. both days. Don't miss the Maryland International Harvester Collectors Club Chapter 39 Fall Harvest Show at Murphy Farm on Browningsville Road, Hyamsville, Maryland. Open to all tractors and trucks with kids games, pumpkin picking, barrel train rides, wagon rides, and more. Food available. Admission free, donations accepted. Show benefits Platoon 22, which supports local veterans. Details at mdihcc39.org. It's football season, and there's no better place to catch the game than Legends Bar in Chambersburg, the hottest spot in town. Located on Hollywell Avenue, they've got everything you need to make game day unforgettable. With ice-cold beer, delicious bites, and all major sporting events streamed live, you're covered. And the best part, also food and drink specials like burgers and draft specials on Mondays, or empanadas and margarita specials on Tuesdays. Plus, enjoy free pool tables every Wednesday and Sunday. So come on down to Legends Bar, the hottest bar in Chambersburg.
Everybody's athletic journey is different. Some athletes might find themselves injured, and others are looking to get back into their favorite activity. At Meritus Sports Medicine, our expert team will support the unique needs of athletes of all ages and levels, from youth to professional. Conveniently located at the Valley Mall, our new facility boasts leading-edge technology and the compassionate local care everyone deserves. Our expert team will develop individual treatment plans guided by the needs and goals of each athlete. To learn more, visit meritushealth.com/sportsmedicine.
Antrim Way Honda will buy your car. Its value is at an all-time high, so if you're considering selling it, talk to Antrim Way Honda. You can try selling it online, listing it in the newspaper, or trading it at another dealer, or you can stop by Antrim Way Honda. They'll make you an offer on the spot. No waiting, no negotiating over the phone. Just drive into the dealership and leave with a check in your hands. Even if you're not interested in purchasing another vehicle, it's that easy. Antrim Way Honda, 200 South Antrim Way, Greencastle.
Life can throw unexpected curveballs. When that happens, turn to Weatherholtz Bonding, your trusted partner in tough times. Their team will get you out and back to your life fast and with the lowest financing plans allowed by West Virginia law. Licensed in West Virginia, Maryland, and Virginia with nationwide coverage. Call Weatherholtz Bonding 304-267-5888. Reclaim your freedom.
Devil Dog Recovery is your trustworthy choice for vehicle repossession. Devil Dog Recovery, 304-264-8233. Fast, reliable, always ready. At Jersey Mike's, it's just done differently. They take pride in making your sub, whether it's a hot sub or a cold sub. You see them slice it or grill it fresh right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. Visit them today and find your favorite go-to sub or try them all. Jersey Mike's Chambersburg on Walker Road, and now open in Gettysburg on Natural Springs Road in the Giant Plaza. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Have those big box stores tricked you into believing you're getting a good deal on your new cabinets for your kitchen? And you believe that sales type who moments ago was helping someone select a new grill? Spend 20 minutes with Dick's Cabinetry and Flooring and you could save hundreds, even thousands of dollars on your new kitchen. Bring your blueprint. A second opinion is always free at Dick's Cabinetry and Flooring. Trust them. It's what they specialize in. It's in their name. Dick's Cabinetry and Flooring, Lincoln Way East, Chambersburg.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro. The right choice, winner in the 2024 Best of the Tri-State.
Our first guest today, we're going to be speaking with Karen Johnston, who is the Executive Director of Healthy Communities Partnership. Happy Monday afternoon to you, Karen.
Thank you very much, and thanks for inviting me.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Sure. Let's just start by talking about Healthy Communities Partnership. What is it? What's the mission?
So we are a private nonprofit we're located physically in Chambersburg, although we serve Franklin County for the most part. And I say for the most part because we also do some other counties with some of our services. But we are primarily focused on health and well-being of our youth, our families, and our communities. We started about 30 years ago under the umbrella of Summit Health when Summit was still in our area as a 501c3. and have branched out ever since then. So primarily health and wellness based, really focusing on positive health habits, positive healthy behaviors that we can involve our youth and our families getting.
Do you work within the school systems?
So we work very closely with the school systems. A lot of our programs, again, are focused on prevention. So we're doing a lot with the primary prevention, really putting out their information so that youth and families in the community are familiar with what might be going on in terms of youth substance abuse, the new trends, the current trends, the up-and-coming trends, unfortunately, which come at us faster than we would like. So we are very much in the school system. And so we do, again, the primary prevention where we're working and doing classroom lessons with K through 12 groups on those types of information. We're in the community at various events, again, sharing with the community, family members, community members, what dangers might be out there in terms of substance use or some of the other things we're looking at right now, specifically with behavioral health and some of the anxiety and depression and things that have been experienced by youth and also parents and caregivers, certainly since COVID. We also do some other programmatic things that are more, I would say not, they're prevention, but they're more on an intervention level, a very basic intervention level where we're really trying to work with these children and these families before things get really serious and they need some treatment or things of that nature.
I'm going to kind of assume here that one of the things that you probably are educating the youth on is vaping. I know that's been one of those trends.
Yes,
that is...
it absolutely. It's one of the biggest one, and it's interesting because statistically, we work a lot. A lot of our programs are also making sure that we're gathering those statistics locally, statewide, comparing them not only to other municipalities about our size, but comparing them statewide, comparing them nationwide. And I keep hearing about we get a survey every 2 months called the Pennsylvania Youth Survey, and it just came out. And the vaping rates, interestingly enough, I mean, they're higher than they have been, but they're lower than what we're hearing on the national level. So when I go to national conferences, we think the issue is probably bigger than the kids are letting on that it is. But it is definitely one of the things that has grown exponentially since COVID, and I think a lot of that was as a coping mechanism and still is. So that's huge. But what I like to say is we always have to kind of look over the left side of the shoulder because there's always something coming up. And the biggest thing now, and this may shock some of the viewers, and some people are like, wait a minute, I don't even know what that is. It's called Zyn. It's actually a teeny tiny pouch. And if you go into a market, go into maybe one of the local shops, I don't want to say the names of some of the bigger markets where you can get things off the shelf, but you'll see it, ZYN, and they're little pouches that kids can, and they have all these terms they use, upper deck, lower deck, they put them up, they put them down, they double deck, and they're easily hidden. Vapes are easily hidden. They hide them in clothing. They hide them in bracelets, lipstick-looking things.
What's the purpose of the Zyn? What is it sold
they
for?
They have, again, it's the nicotine. It's the nicotine rush.
Okay.
They're saying that Zyn is safer because it actually isn't using the tobacco plant, but it is using some derivative, and it has nicotine in it. So again, it's getting that induction of the addiction started and the nicotine updraft. The problem is, again, as with vaping, as with Zyn, they're using it because it's so easy. And again, a vape, they're puffing on that maybe, a pack of cigarettes has 20 cigarettes in it. So if you use a pack a day, but a vape, you could hit on 30 times in half a day. Right. And so you're getting more nicotine. So yeah, it's getting them addicted. It's getting them addicted faster, quicker.
And as with any addiction, eventually that becomes not enough.
Yes.
So then
it's more.
I used to use smokeless tobacco.
Yes.
Unfortunately, and it is just this constant.
Yes.
A lot of it becomes.
Yes.
I always said more or less something to do.
Yes.
I'm bored.
Yes.
And the harm that it could potentially have done to me.
Yes.
Was an afterthought.
Yes.
And I was just Katie
Yeah.
can attest to this. It was all you.
Yep.
You would see me more using it than not.
Yeah.
it became just the way it was. And then when I quit, the best thing in the world, I didn't have to worry about it. And it was no longer the monkey on the back when it came to that. But I was not a smoker. That's all I did.
Yeah.
But so I can totally understand. And there's something maybe you can speak to this, Karen. Am I wrong in saying that there's something with the lingual nerve?
Absolutely.
That it is the fastest to the brain, correct?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Because again, you're having access right there to the nerves,
right?
And you're getting right, and that's why Zyn is so powerful as well. And again, some of the statistics, depending on the nitration that they're getting, there's a 3 milligram and a 6 milligram, but these kids are sometimes using like 8 to 10 a day, and they're getting at least a pack and a half. If they're doing a 3 milligram, they're getting a pack and a half of cigarette, the equivalent of a pack and a half of cigarettes.
Now, is Zyn the name brand? Or
Zyn is the name brand, and there's other iterations. Mm-hmm. But again, the marketing, just like with vapes, the marketing is incredible. The latest, going back and forth, I know I'm going back and forth between Zyn and the vape, but the vapes, the most recent was, they look like highlighters. They literally look, you could not tell the vape from a highlighter.
And this is to maybe
get them into schools.
Yeah, sure.
And again, not knowing that's happened. Now the Zyn again is using, I can't think of the name of the gum or the name of the candy, but they're using the packaging like a candy. Mm-hmm. And so again,
almost like an Altoid.
Almost like an Altoid. They're getting them in, and they have these collector's boxes, and again, getting the kids in. And absolutely. And the thing, I think the scariest thing, we didn't know what we didn't know about tobacco and cigarettes. We didn't know what we didn't know about smokeless tobacco. Now we know some of those things. We're still catching up on the vaping. I mean, there's some serious things that are happening to our youth and individuals that are using vapes that we have no idea. So that statistical stuff has not caught up, and the health risks have not caught up.
And they're also making it to where there's no... The big trend when vaping first started was that it could smell like Fruity Pebbles.
Yes.
But now they make
they're
them
trying to
where
make it
they're
odorless.
completely.
Yeah.
So
well, the flavors were actually meant to attract youth. So interestingly enough, though, it's not a vape; it's an aerosol. So you can't call it. Who would do I'm aerosoling? Nobody would do aerosol. So they don't call it what it really is. An aerosol is not supposed to go into your lungs.
No, I remember when we were kids, people were taking aerosol cans and getting high off of those. So it's basically the same thing.
But that's the same thing. But we don't call it aerosoling. We call it vaping or...
Wow.
Interesting.
And I'm sure I have a lot of questions about this particular topic, but I want to make sure that we touch on some of your other programs.
Sure.
I know that you have a program called Check and Connect that I was researching on your website. That was pretty interesting.
It's very interesting. And it's one of those things that, fortunately or unfortunately, we've now sort of wandered into that territory with our youth. Disconnecting from school, really finding that they don't know why school's important, why they need to be in school, why they need to learn the things that they're learning. And so Check and Connect is an attachment program where it's a 2-year commitment between the student's parents have to agree to it, and then the student gets hooked up with a mentor who follows them 2 years. They meet with them weekly through the school year. They also meet with them in the summer. They'll do maybe activities with them in the summer, but really trying to get them connected with another adult so that they can start learning that they need to form healthy adult relationships. Because one of the things that we know empirically is that what makes a student successful versus another student is having at least one strong, trusted adult relationship in their lives. Now that might be a parent. It might not be a parent. But that's what we're doing with our mentors in Check and Connect, is really trying to re-engage them in school and find out what can we do to get them back into school.
How would someone enroll their child in that program?
So usually they're identified through the school. They're either identified in one of our other programs, it's called the Student Assistance Program, or they're identified by the counselor or maybe one of their teachers. A parent certainly could get them enrolled. We have several parents who call us. But we connect with them. We have sort of a rubric that we follow to see what's going on. Is it academics? Is it behavior? Is it something in terms of the activities that they're involved in before or after school? So we sort of look at all the pieces with that child and seeing what the need might be. It generally starts not lower than 4th grade, and we don't go past the 8th grade. again, it's kind of capturing those years where those transitional years where the students need a lot of help in understanding why school's important, and helping parents understand why school's important too.
And then the mentor stays with that child for 2 years.
Yes, that's best case scenario. Obviously, people move positions, but best case scenario is that mentor stays with that child for 2 years. If we have to transition, we make sure we make it a smooth transition. But they're following them along. They're checking grades. They're checking behavior. They're checking attendance, and really trying to find out what is going to connect that student to get them involved back in school.
Let me ask about the parents now. I think we have a responsibility now, since we have you here, Karen, to give the parents a bit of a leg up.
Yep.
What is it that parents should be looking for in their child that might speak to, well, they might be doing something they shouldn't be doing? What should parents look for?
So any change in behavior, any change in, again, sleeping behavior, eating behavior, behavior in terms of sort of isolating themselves. And again, I would say to parents, don't be afraid. It's funny, I work with a lot of folks, and our kids are all older now, and we have these conversations, but don't be afraid to go. Their bedroom is in your house. Right. Don't be afraid to go into their bedroom. And that's interestingly, that's one of the things that we offer is we have a station that we set up usually at the library or in other places for parents to walk through called a mock bedroom. So things to look for.
Interesting.
Like things that you wouldn't imagine, Q-tips, hidden things, hidden identifiers of what might be going on. Not only substance use, but behavioral issues that might be going on. How could I notice that maybe my child's depressed or anxious?
Yeah. What does the Q-tip signify?
It signifies soaking it in some type of a substance and using it in the mouth or other, so that it gets the drugs in there quicker.
Wow.
Gummy bears that are saturated in alcohol, just crazy things.
Sounds prison-esque.
Yeah.
With the creative, and I'm not trying to give credit, but the creative ways that they can ingest these substances, but B, that they can hide them.
Yes.
So they might be in the mattress or above the door jamb, whatever the case may be. Things that you see on TV that a parent would never think my child has anything to hide inside the door.
Yes. Yes.
That's fascinating.
It is fascinating. If you ever get a chance, it's called the mock bedroom. We set it up. We try to set it up at least 3 times a year at Coyle Library because they actually have a little room that it sits in, and we make it look like a child's bedroom, and then we hide things, and we ask people to see if they can locate things that might indicate either depression, anxiety, or substance use, and see if they can identify them. It's wildly popular. And then on the converse of that, I don't want to say that all we're doing is sort of having parents sort of look at that negative. We're trying to get kids and families involved in positive things. So 2 big programs for us are Power of Produce. It goes through the North Square Farmers Market every Saturday through the end of the market, which is in November. Kids get tokens that they can spend at the farmers' stands. Every week they get $2 in tokens. Some of them gather them and then they spend it all at once. We teach them recipes. We teach them about healthy foods. So that's one. And then we have our Go Girls Go program, which is an after-school running program. We are now in 3 districts in Franklin County, 6 schools. So exciting. And our next race is November the 2nd. And I can tell you it's exciting. And again, we're trying to instill positive behaviors as well as having them understand where they might be getting into a little bit of trouble.
Karen, I think I could talk to you all day.
Yeah.
I think I could talk to you all day. And
I
was going to say, I really hope you come back again.
Absolutely, would love to.
Volunteer opportunities, employment opportunities, how do people find you?
So hcpfranklinpa.org is our website. We have volunteer opportunities for Go Girls Go. We're always looking for mentors. We take male and female mentors. The males don't usually do the lessons with us, but they do the running or the walking. And then we also have positions that are open, and that's where we have them is on our website.
Great. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you so much.
This was really very, very interesting. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Coming up, we're going to take another look at news and sports, and it's all powered by 2A Arms LLC, 2A in PA, Firearms and Freedom.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
I feel the same way that I felt yesterday. I feel like this was a game that the Cowboys should have won.
They did.
They did. I didn't think they were spectacular, but that's okay. You don't have to do style points. This isn't college. We're not trying to impress the BCS. This was good for them to get away with a win. And I still have them not making the playoffs this year. Hey, this is Maggie Gray on 92.1 The GOAT, the Tri-State home for local sports and news.
Contractors, builders, masons, home improvement do-it-yourselfers. Are you in the market for a pellet wood or gas stove insert? Now is the time to visit LT Rushstone and Fireplace. It's their pre-season blowout sale. Take advantage of the year's best prices on products and installation. Stop by the showroom on the Buchanan Trail East between Waynesboro and Greencastle to see their amazing displays. Find the products that will make your upcoming projects showstoppers and take advantage of pre-season blowout prices. LT Rushstone and Fireplace. Experts that can help you to complete your construction or renovation projects with the best products, the best options, and the best service. Now open Tuesday and Wednesday until 8 p.m. for your convenience. LT Rushstone and Fireplace. Buchanan Trail East between Waynesboro and Greencastle. Online at ltrushstone.com.
LT Rushstone and Fireplace, making dreams come true.
This fall, cozy up with incredible deals you won't want to miss at Boost Mobile by CPA Wireless. For new customers, buy a Moto G 5G and get another one free. That's right, 2 for the price of 1. Or switch today and get the Moto G Stylus 5G or Samsung A25 for free. Not a fan of Android? No worries. Grab an iPhone 12 for just $49.99 when you switch. And for our current customers, you can snag it for as low as $99.99. Find a participating store near you at cpawireless.com/locations. Hurry, these fall deals won't last long. Boost Mobile by CPA Wireless, where the best deals fall right into your hands.
Sunday, November 3rd, Cedar Ridge Children's Home and School in Williamsport, Maryland is hosting their 12th annual fundraiser quarter auction. Admission $5 per person. Doors open at 1 p.m. The auction begins at 2. Items to be auctioned include gift certificates for goods and services, gift cards for local businesses, curated gift baskets, and much more. No pre-sales. Details on Facebook or online at cedarridgeministries.org.
It's that time of year again. Chambersburg Waste Paper is back with its 3rd annual Halloween party. Friday, October 25th from 6 to 9 p.m. There's a haunted hayride, a kids inflatable wagon ride, costume contest, candy giveaway, DJ, and of course, delicious food. Plus, free pumpkins for everyone. New this year, we'll have a haunted house. Last year was amazing, and we can't thank you enough for your support. So grab your friends, your family, and your best costumes, and come out for a spectacular evening of fun. Mark your calendars for the spookiest night of the season at CWP, Friday, October 25th.
You can't spell autumn without 2 A's.
Well, there's only one A in autumn.
Well, there's no fun in autumn without 2A Arms, the original 2A in Chambersburg. If you are headed to the woods for archery or rifle seasons, 2A has everything you need, including youth hunting rifles from top names, and they can special order archery items. Your successful hunt begins at 2A Arms, 700 West Loudon Street, Chambersburg. Online at 2ARmsLLC.com. 2A and PA. Firearms and freedom.
Planning the perfect wedding? Have you already had the ultimate wedding? Would you like to be featured in the upcoming Tri-State Bridal magazine? If your dream wedding has, in reality, taken place within the past 3 years, submit your details at bestofthetristate.com and you could be featured in the magazine. You know you want to. Go ahead. Say, I do want to share my dream wedding with the world. For submission requirements and more details, visit bestofthetristate.com.
When you and your loved one need extra support for a very serious illness, there's just one call to make: to Hospice of Washington County.
They provided a team of professionals to meet our loved ones and our family's needs.
They allowed me to be my mother's daughter again and to spend special time with her. I knew I had help just a phone call away.
They were there in our home with help and medical equipment exactly when we needed them.
When your loved one needs extra support for a serious illness, there's just one call to make: to Hospice of Washington County. Hospice care is a fully covered Medicare and Medicaid benefit, and no one is ever turned away for an inability to pay. Hospice of Washington County cares for the whole family. Call 301-791-6360. That's 301-791-6360. Or visit hospiceofwc.org.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Let's talk Tri-State. Are you an outstanding citizen in the borough of Chambersburg? The borough of Chambersburg is seeking nominations for an individual or organization to receive the Mike Waters Citizen of the Year Award for 2024. This award, which is presented on an annual basis, will go to the person or organization that best exemplifies the type of services that Waters provided to the community during his lifetime. Nominations can be sent no later than this Friday, so you still have a few days to get on that. And you can email them to jwright, JWRIGHT, at chambersburgpa.gov. The award winner will be announced at the town council meeting on Monday the 18th. So again, those nominations must be in by this Friday, and that is for the Mike Waters Citizen of the Year Award in the borough of Chambersburg.
And I'll add to that at chambersburgpa. Is it .org or .gov?
It's .gov.
At chambersburgpa.gov, if you wanted to see what the criteria are for that award, it's all listed there. And there's also, if you want to enter by mail, you can do that as well. All that info is at chambersburgpa.gov.
As soon as I was reading this, I started thinking, I wonder how you nominate, who is allowed the nomination. So if you want to get those guidelines there, you can do that online. And again, that will be announced on Monday the 18th, and we'll bring you that information as soon as we get that.
We will. And I love this. Again, last week we talked about things that Franklin Hospice was doing for veterans with the free breakfast.
Yes.
Here's something Hagerstown Community College is doing that I absolutely love. The Dental Education Clinic at HCC is going to be offering free dental cleanings and other preventative services to the first 100 vets to sign up by appointment on November 11th and 13th.
That is great. Yeah, that is great.
Services will be provided by HCC students with oversight by trained dental professionals. And obviously, these are students who are in the dental hygienist program.
Sure, I figured.
Not just, if Katie were taking classes there and just wants to go clean
Hey, I
want to
go clean teeth. Sure.
Treatments include complete dental hygiene exams, assessment of teeth and gums, dental cleanings, referrals as needed, and other preventative services. If you'd like to make an appointment or learn more, 240-500-2569 or email dentalclinic@hagerstowncc.edu.
This is a great program because the students get some extra, hands-on real-life experience. And you said, how many people? 100? Get these free services, and it can be expensive. You know how expensive dental work can be, and especially if you put off going to the dentist and you put off going to the dentist, it's scary to then go for the first time. So this makes everybody feel more comfortable, more at ease.
And not to mention, because you've recently dealt with this too, it's now a lot of times it's difficult to get into a dentist. It's one of those things. Well, we're booking 6 months in advance, or we're booking a year in some cases. With this, you can at least get there and kind of get an idea of how your teeth are doing and your overall oral health. Now, again, as Katie said, 100 people. This is limited to 100 vets. And I do not know, I read into this, I didn't see any criteria of if you have to be from Hagerstown or live in Hagerstown or Washington County. My assumption is you don't, but make sure that you get that proper information online at hagerstowncc.edu. The email address, once again, is dentalclinic@hagerstowncc.edu.
You know what I think we should do?
What's that?
Let's find out what's going on with sports. Last night was a big night.
Oh, it was a big night.
It really was. So, Andy, what's going on with sports today?
Lots of action in the NFL this past weekend. It all kicked off at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in London as the Bears took on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chicago Bears came out on top 35-16. The Green Bay Packers then took on the Cardinals. The Packers won 34-13. The Titans took on the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts coming away the winner against the Tennessee Titans 20-17. While the Texans and the Patriots battled each other, the Texans blowing out the Patriots 41-21. And the New Orleans Saints lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had one of the highest scoring games in franchise history, scoring 51 points to the New Orleans Saints 27 points. The Philadelphia Eagles came away with a win against the Cleveland Browns 20-16. The Washington Commanders fell to the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore 30-23. While the Broncos lost a heartbreaker to the Chargers, 23-16. The Steelers came away with a big win against the Las Vegas Raiders, 32-13. The Detroit Lions decimated the Dallas Cowboys, 47-9. While the Atlanta Falcons notched a win over the Carolina Panthers, 38-20. And in Sunday Night Football, it was a defensive battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants, with the Cincinnati Bengals coming out on top 17-7. Tonight in Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills take on the New York Jets. That game starts at 8:15. In Major League Baseball action, the playoffs have been well underway, and they've been nothing short of exciting. The Dodgers notched a win against the San Diego Padres on Friday night. making them the winner of the series for the National League Divisional Series 3-2. The Dodgers then notched a win over the New York Mets, starting the National League Championship Series out with a bang. They beat them 9-0 Sunday night. The Los Angeles Dodgers now lead the series 1-0. In American League Divisional Series action, the Cleveland Guardians notched a win against the Detroit Tigers, moving them into the American League Championship Series, where they will take on the New York Yankees. That game starting tonight at 7:38. In other MLB action tonight, the Los Angeles Dodgers will take on the New York Mets. The Los Angeles Dodgers lead the series 1-0. In college football action over the weekend, Arizona State beat Utah 27-19 Friday night. And on Saturday, the Texas Longhorns, undefeated still, beat the Oklahoma Sooners 34-3. The Oregon Ducks came away with the win against the Ohio State Buckeyes in a close one, 32-31. While Penn State notched a win against USC 33-30. Georgia beat Mississippi State 41-31. Alabama came out in a close one against South Carolina, beating them 27-25. The Tennessee Volunteers took down the Florida Gators 23-17, while the LSU Tigers beat Ole Miss 29-26 in a thrilling overtime ending. Clemson crushed Wake Forest 49-14, while Notre Dame beat Stanford 49-7. Iowa State took down West Virginia 28-16, and BYU beat Arizona 41-19. Boise State took on Hawaii and came away the winner 28-7, while Kansas State beat Colorado 31-28. Missouri took on Massachusetts, coming away the winner 45-3, while Pittsburgh beat California in a close one 17-15. And Illinois took on Purdue, beating them 50-49 in a thrilling win.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach at 921thegoat.com.
Thanks so much, Andy, and welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice, winner of the 2024 Best of the Tri-State Award.
Our next guest today from the Downtown Business Council, we have Brittany Kokola, one of my favorite last names, and you are the downtown coordinator.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Again, love having you back here.
Thanks.
I do miss the purple dress with the purple hair.
I'll make note of that for next time.
And you have the Apple Fest coming up on Saturday. I know you've been really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. It is the biggest one we've had yet, so it has been an endeavor to get it all organized for this Saturday.
And Brittany had to correct me that it is not all Apple everything.
No.
Okay.
It's not all apples,
Right.
but we definitely have some apples featured. We actually have a new vendor who's bringing apple strudel. So if you're a fan of that, that is all he does. So we're excited about that one. I know that some of our other vendors like Falafel Shack, I know we talked about their pizzas, but they're actually going to be bringing out an apple pie dessert pizza specifically for Apple Fest.
That sounds great.
So I know a lot of our traditional vendors, they will be bringing some sort of apple option. Even the craft vendors tend to bring something that's either apple or fall oriented for the season that it is, and things that they maybe don't carry when we have it in July during Old Market Day.
And how much are tickets to the Apple Fest?
This is a free event.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, they do it upright with no charge. Yeah.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. So it is a free event. Thankfully, we have amazing sponsors with Sheets. And because of that sponsorship, we are able to offer this free of charge to the community. And we have a ton of activities, ton of performances, and everything that happens on the streets is all free of charge. I mean, vending, shopping, obviously that part's not free, but to attend itself is completely free. Enjoy the day, walk the streets, and see everything that there is to have.
I know historically everyone has vendors that show up every year to different festivals that they gravitate toward. What is your favorite as far as food vendors go?
Ooh,
for this event.
For this event, probably it's pulling. It's one of our smoked barbecue places.
Naturally, yes.
I love pulled pork barbecue and that sort of thing. But for Old Market Day, they brought this. It was crab, or it was crab salad
dip or something.
It was a crab salad sandwich.
Okay.
The most amazing crab salad sandwich
Yum.
I've ever had. And they're going to be back. Holland Butts Barbecue. That's who it was.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. And they probably use apple wood
for smoking, so it counts.
They might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think it'd have to count.
And anyone who has bacon,
Naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
All bacon is welcome. We're not.
Exactly. We are non-discriminatory against our bacon, even
Yes.
if you're not Applewood smoked. It's
The last time Brittany was here, we had a really interesting conversation. I did not realize how many art vendors and how much art there was in downtown Chambersburg that people can really take advantage of.
Yeah. We have over 130 vendors joining us for this Apple Fest. And when I say vendors, most of them have to be handmade craft or artisan of some sort. And we have everything. We have some 3D printers, we have glass artists, we have clay. There's going to be some painting artists, that sort of thing, jewelry, you name it, it's going to be there. There's going to be an option for everybody. And then we have some of our dance troupes from town. They'll be performing on our stage on the Courthouse Plaza. I know that the CCTV, CCT, the Chambersburg Community Theater, they're actually going to be doing their Rocky Horror Show later that night at the Capitol Theater. And there's just all kinds of great things going on in the arts, both performative and physical visual arts.
And then once the Apple Festival kind of wraps up, what's the next thing that you're going to be gearing up toward?
The following week is then Trick or Treat on Main, which we kind of facilitate and encourage people to come down. It's the only real trick or treat officially that happens in downtown Chambersburg. So most of our streets, like our brick and mortar businesses downtown, they participate, and we encourage everyone to come. And we have a costume contest that happens on the Courthouse Plaza. That'll start around 1:15. Trick or treat is from 11 to 1 downtown on Main Street.
And then once we get past Halloween, then we're going to start thinking
Whew.
about, because I know it seems early to start throwing this word out, but Christmas is going to be here before you know it.
We're already in the process of prepping all of our Christmas lights in downtown Chambersburg. So that's something that we have the privilege of being a part of with the Downtown Business Council. We help create those lights that are in downtown that just makes it so magical for the holiday season. So the last few days, we've been working, I believe it was Bartlett Tree Service. They've been helping us, as well as some volunteers, to get all of the trees spick and span and replacing lights and everything, because November 23rd is our Christmas parade, believe it or not.
Don't we know it?
Yes,
it's only 3 weeks after we have Halloween and Trick or Treat. We're having our Christmas parade and kicking off the holiday season officially in downtown Chambersburg.
And what is that the same night that you're going to be lighting the tree?
Yes.
Okay.
So Santa comes along and he closes out our parade, and with his magical touch turns on all of the lights downtown.
You got to love that.
It's
man,
so warming.
He has the best job in the world. He really does.
He really does.
I think we have the second best job, but he certainly takes the cake for sure, or the cookie, as it were. Yeah.
Many cookies.
Yeah, you better believe it. Why do you think I said he has the best job in the world?
There you go.
I mean, let's face it, you can light all the trees that you want, but when you get a plate full of peanut butter cookies at every house you visit,
there you go.
we're good.
I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit here, Brittany, to the Downtown Business Council. Yeah. What is a benefit of being a member of do you call it the DBC?
We do call it the DBC, yeah. One of the biggest, easy to show membership benefits that we have is anyone who has their brick and mortar in town, which is essentially how you become a member anyway, they get to come out into our festivals free of charge. So we do have to charge an admission, or not an admission fee, an application fee for those who are vending with us, but then our business members who are part of the DBC, they get to come out and kind of expand their shop or use their space how they want to. I know Black and Blush, they use it kind of like their man cave, if you will, while they encourage the wives and girlfriends to go shop inside.
Which is brilliant,
it is,
by the way.
It is.
Good, yeah.
Brussels sets up a little mini cafe on the outside, so there's more seating, so it's not so crowded inside. There's lots of different options that our member businesses use to utilize that space for them. A lot of them bring out sale items that are just for that day. So not only will you see, again, the 130 vendors, which, by the way, 30% of them are brand new. So if you've come to Apple Fest before and you're like, oh, but what's going to be new? Like 30% of it is going to be new that you've never seen in downtown Chambersburg before.
Now, do you have a geographic area that you cover? I know downtown.
Yeah. So we're on Main Street from King to Washington. So that's 3 full blocks of downtown Chambersburg Main Street. We also take over the Rosedale parking lot, which is right beside Avocado Cafe and leads to where our North Square Farmers Market is down by Chambersfort Park, which is where the waterfall and the wheel are in that area. And then we also take about a block of Lincoln Way East and a block of Lincoln Way West. All of our community partners are going to be there. We have 30 of them this year, which is the most we've ever had. It's amazing to incorporate some of our local nonprofits and community partners, people who are serving the community, just like your former guest was here. They'll be joining us at Apple Fest as well. So yeah, and then all of our food trucks will go up Lincoln Way East. So it's about 5 or so city blocks worth of space that is just packed to the brim. And then we have the Courthouse Plaza, which is where we'll have entertainment from 9 a.m. till 3.
Well, now, you just gave us the geographic parameters, the perimeter, I should say, of Apple Harvest. But now, when it comes to being a member of the DBC, is it basically the same area?
Yes and no. For some of the benefits, like coming outside of your brick and mortar store, it obviously helps if you're right on Main Street. There are some accommodations that we have given to others in the past where you can come down. It obviously won't be right in front of your store. Like the Chambers Apothecary, they are technically a member even though they're not right on our festival area. But a lot of people tend to like just being a part of what we're doing. And our membership fees are very minimal, especially for our nonprofits, things like that, to just be involved in the things that we're doing.
Well, let's say there were a business on, say, Walker Road. Is that something that you might say, well, technically it doesn't qualify, or would they be welcome to come in?
It depends on what they're looking for as far as the membership benefits that we have and what they're looking to get out of it. If it's just to become a part of our organization and to help facilitate the things that we're doing and have some sort of presence potentially, we're absolutely open to seeing that. It's not like we are just Main Street.
Right, that's what I was wondering and trying to drill in on is that. And then what are, not counting Apple Festival, what are the benefits of being a member of the DBC for a business? If a business is listening or watching, they say, okay, that sounds great for Apple Harvest Apple Festival, that's awesome, but what about just every other day of the year? Why should I join the DBC?
So we've actually implemented we're calling it our welcoming committee, but it's essentially just a committee for our member businesses that have block captains and things like that, where there's this kind of like a hominess where if you need a little extra help or you want to throw ideas of what sales are working for you, what's going on this time of year, is there something that you're doing that I can piggyback on? It's more of a collaborative effort. And because our organization, we are member-based, so even our initiatives that we do are kind of started by our members. Like they suggest something and then we kind of run with it. So because we have that, there's a lot of collaboration that can happen from one business to another that maybe they wouldn't ordinarily have that connection. Like they might be side by side, but whether it is language barriers that are an issue, and there's lots of languages that are spoken in downtown.
We're still also trying to figure out Katie's.
I knew it.
So if you have any help there, it'd be great.
I don't know if I have any help with that one in particular. I haven't gone to Katie 101 yet, so
neither
no one
has.
No one has. I'm still learning it myself.
But also creating like some of our members are fantastic with Facebook or social media. So if you're not so great with that, here's a resource for
Which
it.
is so important.
It's a great networking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's networking, but it feels more approachable as far as networking goes, and it's tangible. Like I need help with this particular thing. Okay, I have exactly the person to do that. So all of our benefits, or all of our members, can benefit from each other and the knowledge that they each bring.
Brittany, you live in Chambersburg.
I do, yeah.
And you've been there for quite some time. What is your favorite thing about living in Chambersburg?
I love the diversity, honestly. There's so much from our residents to our food options, our clothing options, everything. There truly is something for just about everyone to enjoy in downtown. And I love seeing that. Like I went to school in Richmond, which is huge,
Yeah, okay.
you know. And It's obviously not to that scale, but there's tastes of it that I truly admire and love about that. And it's all within walking distance.
Mm-hmm.
It's all approachable.
And you can get some really good food, visit some really cool places,
Yeah.
have a nice overnight stay.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's things for just about everyone, like I said, but even every price point. Like we have our thrift stores all the way up to our more selective boutiques. You know, there's something to accommodate every walk of life to some extent.
What landed you in Chambersburg? You said you grew up in Richmond. So what?
I didn't grow up there. I went to school there, so that's where I went to college.
Okay, gotcha.
I actually lived outside of Gettysburg, so I've always been in
Kind
the
of local,
area.
sure.
Yeah, but work actually brought me here.
There you go.
And ended up loving it and have stayed
Let's
ever
say,
since.
it doesn't sound like you consider it work, which is
No,
great.
I don't.
Because we
I love
feel the
it.
same.
She's so happy. She loves what she does.
I do.
You're
I
a
love
great
what
presence.
I do. Oh, thank you.
We've been so fortunate with this. Is now we're entering our second week of Let's Talk Tri-State, and I cannot think of an exception to this. Everyone is so passionate about what they do. And I think if there's any reason, I can only speak for me, but if there's any reason why I would want to continue to do this show, it's that very reason, because everyone who's done it is so passionate about it. They just love what they do. We can just sit back and everyone
Ask
just
the
talk.
questions and you just go, yeah.
Well, and it's contagious.
It is, yes.
absolutely.
You know, that excitement and desire to do the things that you're doing.
Absolutely.
It's contagious.
In our last minute here, plug your website. How can people find you?
Yeah. Well, for our events, we have Facebook pages for each individual one. So we do have a Facebook event page up for Applefest. So if there's specific information, our map isn't up yet because I still have some last minute vendors coming in. But that should be posted before Saturday anyway. And we have our website at discoverchambersburg.com. So if you're interested in becoming a DVC member, if you're a member, like if you're a business in Chambersburg, downtown Chambersburg, that's where you can find applications, as well as being a part of everything from Applefest to our Christmas parade coming up. Applications for all of those things are available on our website.
Thanks, Britt.
Thank
We
you.
love having you here.
Thank you for
Come back
having
and
me.
see us
It's
again,
great.
okay?
Absolutely.
Coming up, we're going to take another look at news and sports, and it's all powered by the DRB Group, the right partner for your real estate development.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Want to save money on home energy costs? Make the right choice. Contact HomeRight Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, winner in Best of the Tri-State 2024. HomeRight Windows and Doors, Waynesboro, your best local window and door provider in the Tri-State. Today's replacement windows can really make a difference in your heating and cooling costs. They can also add to your home's resale value, and you could earn tax credits. To schedule a free in-home estimate, Google HomeRight Waynesboro or find them on Facebook. HomeRight Windows and Doors, Waynesboro, the right choice. Would you inhale nail polish remover? What about weed and grass killers? If your child vapes, they can be inhaling harmful chemicals found in cleaning products, rat poison, and pesticides. Vaping can negatively impact brain development, learning, and mood. Has your child been acting differently lately? More anxious or stressed? These can be signs of vaping. Take the time to talk to your child about the risks of vaping. This message brought to you by Teens for a Better Tomorrow and Chambersburg Cares. Project funded by NH28CE003640-05.
Are you currently medically uninsured? Uninsured citizens are healthier and more productive through free access to health care. Are you currently a citizen of Washington County, Maryland?
Hi, I'm Nicole, Executive Director of the Community Free Clinic. We can help those in need of physical or mental health care, including prescription medicine and lab services. Services are not based on income. Most services are free to qualifying patients. Are you currently medically uninsured? If you need physical or mental health care, learn if you qualify at mycommunityfreeclinic.org.
Made for living, made for life. Burkholder's Flooring.
It's time to change that flooring to match you. Talk to Burkholder's Flooring about your floors and your designs. They'll help you do what's best for your house and create the look that speaks to you and fits your personality. Burkholder's Flooring, where flooring is done right. Burkholder's Flooring, Pennsylvania Avenue, Hagerstown. Quality you can stand on.
Burkholder's Flooring.
During October, the Rain Tunnel Car Wash in Chambersburg is raising money for the Little Daisy's Closet. At the end of the month, the Rain Tunnel Car Wash will match the amount of donations raised. Little Daisy's Closet is a great organization that has a huge impact on our community. So stop in and make a donation this month to help our community. Stop by the Rain Tunnel Car Wash on Orchard Drive in Chambersburg to donate today.
Friday, November 8th, Greencastle Family Dental will offer services including fillings, cleanings, extractions, and limited oral exams at no charge to veterans in the tri-state area without dental benefits. For more details, call 717-597-7197. If you are interested in this event or would like to donate sealed snacks or drinks, call 717-597-7197 or send a message via Facebook or Google. Greencastle Family Dental, 50 Eastern Avenue, Suite 108.
Whether you're new to vaping, are thinking of starting, or already vaping, Vast Vapor will treat you right. Electronic cigarettes are not one size fits all. Vast Vapor works with you one-on-one to help you select the best items to be a true replacement to your smoking habit. With great products and expert advice, Vast Vapor is here for you. Ask about their 7-tier rewards program that actually allows you to get the products you want, and give them a like on Facebook. Vast Vapor has 3 locations: on Moggins Avenue next to Subway in Hagerstown, on the Point near Walmart, Waynesboro, and Gateway Avenue in Chambersburg. Vast Vapor is hiring additional team members for all 3 locations. Has vaping changed your life? Are you passionate about helping others understand the benefits of tobacco harm reduction? Are you reliable, energetic, and trustworthy? Are you an individual with a good sense of humor? Then Vast Vapor is the place for you. Join the Vast Vapor team and help customers make a positive lifestyle change. Vast Vapor, we're not blowing smoke.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Join me and 3-time Super Bowl champion Devin McCourty for AFC East action this week when the New York Jets take on the Buffalo Bills. It's a great match of marquee quarterbacks as Aaron Rodgers battles Josh Allen. Don't miss it. It's on Monday Night Football.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Let's talk Tri-State. There's a lot of important things that are happening in the month of October, and I think one of the most important is definitely breast cancer awareness.
Absolutely.
And with it being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, a emeritus physician is offering some advice on how to reduce the risk of getting the disease and how to check for it. Dr. Anne-Marie Huff with the Emeritus Center for Breast Health said that there are some standard practices women can do to stave off developing breast cancer and preventing death from it. And she goes on to say, while evidence-based guidelines suggest that breast self-examinations do not reduce breast cancer deaths, it is still important for women to have awareness on how their breasts look and feel and how to report any changes from the normal to their providers, she says. So just know your body, know what feels normal, know what feels abnormal, and don't be afraid to ask somebody if something does feel abnormal and you're thinking, oh, I don't know if that's normally there. Is that a lump? Better safe than sorry. Go and get it checked out.
I think what interests me the most about what you just read is that it says that there's evidence that says that it does not lessen the chances of death if you do a self-examination, which I've been told that for years. I think we've all heard that. So certainly, I agree. Don't stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Just go ahead and keep doing that. Know how you feel, how you know something's not right. No, I've always said this about anything. No one knows your body better than you.
Of course.
And if something feels off, it's like when a week or so ago when I had the flu, I could feel something different coming on. And I'm certainly not comparing the flu to breast cancer, but just knowing your body. And then eventually, I kept saying to myself for several hours, something isn't right. Something just does not feel right. Before you know it, boom, flu comes.
And I think that not everybody knows what to be feeling for.
Right.
And so I remember when I starting my own exams, I had to Google and look at a chart and think, okay, is this a normal bump and lump, or is this abnormal? So don't be afraid to have those conversations and ask somebody and Google it and look at pictures.
Otherwise, you're really getting in your head if you
Right,
feel
of course.
something that could be completely normal, but you're freaking out.
Right, exactly.
Berkeley County false alarm calls. Now, this is something I had not thought about, but there are calls that people think, that we think are legitimate to 911, and a lot of times it's not that they're not legitimate, but they don't necessarily qualify as an emergency, which means they would qualify as a false alarm. So officials are urging residents and businesses to do their part to ease the demand on first responders by taking some steps to prevent false alarms at their property. Now, with approximately 4,000 false alarms and hold-up alarms in Berkeley County alone each year. Now,
that's a lot.
By the way, this is from Berkeley County, but I think that this could apply
everywhere.
To Franklin County, Washington County, our entire listening and viewing area. Sheriff Rob Blair says that the response to the scene of actual emergencies is being negatively impacted. So he gives the example, one less false alarm call could be the difference of receiving life and death care at an actual emergency call. So law enforcement, EMS, and Berkeley County are dispatched to more than 50,000 calls annually, providing public safety and emergency services across more than 300 square miles of the county. So that just goes to show you, if you throw in Franklin County, Washington County, and their individual fire, EMS, and police, there are a lot of calls coming in. So just be aware and see what qualifies and does not qualify as an emergency.
And I think it's also important to think about, if you have an alarm system, does everybody know the code?
We have that here.
And is it something that you can remember under pressure? Because I'm sure that's a lot of it too. An alarm goes off, the phone's ringing, the alarm's going off, and you can't remember what your code is, and then they have to send somebody out.
Well, there was a time here where I set off the alarm, and I knew what the code was, and the phone's ringing. The problem was I don't know how to answer the phone.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, make sure everybody knows how to answer the phone. That could be problem one.
You may want to consider if that person should be an employee or not, if they don't know how to answer the phone.
Honestly, Tiny, I don't know if I know how to answer the phone here.
It's bad for me too. I barely know how to answer mine. Actually, in my office, I don't answer the phone because it automatically, and I'm not going to change this setting, picks up to speakerphone after I think 1 or 2 rings. So I'm leaving it at that because I don't have to worry about answering it.
Sometimes I'll answer the calls out front, but I don't know how to put them on hold. I don't know how to transfer them
You
anywhere
hung up on
else.
our owner once.
I know, I did. I didn't mean to do that. So
Or Mr. V.
make sure everybody knows the alarm code and, of course, how to answer their phone. And now let's check in with Sports with Andy.
Here's what happened in sports over the weekend in Washington County, according to the Herald Mail. On Friday, Broad Fording beat Christian Lighthouse in volleyball 3-1, winning with scores of 25-16, 25-12, and 25-15. Happening tonight, Monday, October 14th, Frederick Force takes on Grace Academy at 5:45. Lighthouse Christian takes on Hancock at 6:30. Urbana travels to Boonesboro. That game starts at 7. And Thomas Johnson takes on Williamsport in Williamsport at 7. In girls soccer, on Friday, Boonesboro took down Clear Spring in overtime, beating them 3-2, while Brunswick blanked Williamsport 5-0 in Williamsport. In boys soccer, on Friday evening, Grace Academy beat Carroll Christian 3-2, while Flint Hill beat St. James 1-0. This past Saturday, St. James beat Bishop Walsh 5-4, and tonight, Clear Spring travels to Boonesboro to take them on at 7 p.m. In varsity football, Jefferson traveled to South Hagerstown this past Friday and beat them 48-14. And for flag football, coming up tonight, Catoctin takes on Smithsburg, game time at 5 p.m. Here are your football scores from around Franklin County, according to ScoreStream. The Juniata Indians traveled to Greencastle Antrim Blue Devils this past Friday. The Blue Devils came out on top, 40-21. The Altoona Lions beat the Chambersburg Trojans in Chambersburg, 21-14. In Berkeley County football action, the Martinsburg Bulldogs beat the Morgantown Mohegans 51-14. In Franklin County sports for boys soccer, the Trojans fall to previously winless Altoona Mountain Lions. The Shippensburg Greyhounds ran their record up to 8-0 with another dominating performance in a 42-0 win over visiting Redland. And Greencastle Antrim boys soccer team hangs on for the win against the Bermudian Springs Eagles, 4-3. In the girls' Class 3A tournament for golf, Wrench improved her Thursday first-round score by 4 strokes, enabling her to move from 6th to 3rd place. She finished 11 strokes behind the winner, Piper Smith of Manheim Township, and 2 behind the runner-up, Ellie Overly of Warwick. Beckenball also advanced in golf postseason action. Beckenball finished 1 stroke back of Wrench in 4th place after shooting a 79 on Saturday. She had 9s of 41, 38, and parred the final 7 holes of the back 9. In cross-country action in Franklin County sports, the Trojan boys and girls placed 2nd in Mid-Penn cross-country. The Mid-Penn Conference cross-country championships at Big Spring happened Saturday morning and plenty of Franklin County runners had a great day. Chambersburg's girls were second in the Class 3A team standings and put 2 girls in the top 9. The Trojan boys also placed second and had 2 runners in the top 10.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach at 921thegoat.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, powered by HomeRight Windows and Doors in Waynesboro. The Right Choice, voted 2024 Best of the Tri-State.
Our next guest, this is something I'm not super familiar, so I have a lot of questions for you, but we are joined by Randy Wilson. He is a leadership and business coach for a company called Real PD. Thanks so much for being here with us on Let's Talk Tri-State.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And Real PD is an acronym.
Yes.
What does it stand for?
Well, I was in the Air Force 25 years, so I had to have an acronym. It stands for Reliable, Efficient, Ethical Leadership, and the PD is Professional Development.
And so you work for your own company.
Yes.
And you provide leadership and business coaching.
Yes.
What is your background? How did you get into this?
Yeah, it's funny. So 25 years Air Force, 6 years in the corporate world, and one day my wife asked me, what's your passion? Because I was having a tough period, 5 in the morning to 11 at night, a lot of work. And she said, what's your passion? And I said, I love to help people to grow, talk about leadership. And then she connected me to the John Maxwell team. And then I became certified several months later, and that's how it all started, because she asked me that one question.
So then do you coach businesses or individuals or both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. The businesses, it could be like coaching certain individuals into business, or it could be team building, it could be team training, it could be whatever the business needs. But sometimes I'll have an individual come to me and say, hey, I'm looking at leaving this job and starting another one, but I don't know what to do. Can you help me? And so it's whatever the individual or team needs.
And then do you have offer different levels of coaching?
It's they call it executive level. You're working with like the C-suite, CEO, CIO, COO, all the C's, or all the way down to a worker, right? I had a bank that asked me, hey, can you come in and help this person with their attitude? Right?
Wow.
They were eligible for retiring in the spring, and this was October, and they said if they didn't change their attitude, they weren't going to retire. So I went in, sat down with the lady. An hour later, she walked out, hugged the HR director, and apologized. She ended up retiring. So I help people at all levels.
It's a nice company that would even extend that as an option to say, look, we want to look out for this lady, this employee. We want to see her make retirement, but it's not going to happen if something doesn't change. So not a lot of companies would do that.
You're right.
So good for them. But the question that I have for you is, do you find more reward personally in the organizational coaching or the individual coaching?
Both. I can't say it's more, one's more than the other. It's the results. Seeing the light bulbs come on, see the change, and seeing either the individual or team to grow and to be better. Each one is very rewarding for me.
Do you see any recurring themes as you've been doing this coaching?
Yeah, and it's interesting. Doesn't matter the profession, doesn't matter the location, doesn't matter the level. A lot of people, they focus on everything else except for taking care of the things they can take care of. Even like I had a CFO of a large organization. They were complaining about what the CEO wasn't doing. And I said, well, what are you doing? Well, the CEO isn't doing, well, what are you doing? The CEO I'm like, this is about you. What can you do, right, to move you forward, move the organization forward? And that's a common theme. And even down to the lowest level, well, look at leadership. What are they doing? What's everybody else? People are wondering what everybody else is doing instead of focusing on themselves and being the best that they can be.
They allow someone else's issues to hinder them for some reason.
Yeah, they take it personally.
Do you ever find when you're coaching that it starts to carry over into like life coaching at all?
Yeah.
And is that a boundary that you have to set with your clients, or is it fluid?
It's fluid. Yeah, a lot of people are affected by what happens at home, right? Or they're affected by childhood stuff. And so that ends up working itself into a session a lot of times, because they're they're thinking a certain way, acting a certain way, don't know why. And then I start asking questions, and then you realize, well, there it is. Like, I was picked on in school. I'm very focused on how other people are treated because of that. And that goes I'm 59, so it goes back a long ways. Everybody's affected by things that have happened in their lives, but they just don't realize a lot of times. And that carries over into work. So it's a lot of times it's the individual personal side as well as the business side.
And then if someone signs up with you, I'm trying to think how I want to word this question. Is there an allotted amount of time that you work with the clients, or is it just changing based on the needs of person to person?
It changes. So like if you and we sign up, I usually go session to session. So it might be a 15-minute thing, it might be a half hour. Hour is about the max. I have some clients been coaching for years, right? And they get something out of every session. Sometimes it's only a couple sessions, so it flexes.
How would someone know if they needed coaching? How would you know, okay, I have to call Randy and get some assistance?
I think you both need coaching.
Let's do it. We're here. We have a few minutes.
Everybody really needs coaching, because what coaching is, it's about helping the individual to learn about themselves, realize things about themselves so they can make changes. And thinking about ourselves can be painful a lot of times, right? So we don't do it. But when you have a coaching session, you get into that, then there's real growth. And everybody needs coaching in some way, including me.
Yeah. I think I look at it from the standpoint of, I always think of a plant or a flower. Every flower needs to grow, and the moment that the flower stops growing, it starts dying.
That's it. Yeah.
And there you go. Yeah. And like you said, that goes from the top down. If the moment comes where you think you can't learn anything else, then stop what you're doing, start a TV show, write a book, because you know the secret that no one else knows.
That's it.
And you need to share that thing.
That's it.
Do people ever call you if their career is going really well and everything's great, and they just want to make sure that they're staying on the same path? Yeah. Would that be a conversation that you would also have with people?
Yeah, absolutely, because even though things are going well, there's still things that people need help with, right? Maybe it's an interpersonal thing. Maybe it's, how can I lead my team better to get them to be even better than they are today? Because you think about Olympians, right? They don't stop practicing. They don't, okay, I don't need you, coach, anymore, right? They don't get rid of their coaches because they know that no matter how good they are, they could be better.
Mm.
So, yeah, I mean, doesn't matter how good an individual or a company is, they can still be better.
One of the best quotes that I ever heard was from Jimmy Johnson, the great football coach. And he said, we don't practice to get it right. We practice so that we can't get it wrong. Yeah. And that was so profound to me. And it would come from a football coach. Yeah, but Jimmy Johnson, he's a Hall of Famer for a reason. And if he never said one notable thing in just that one, he did it for me, because I always think of that.
Yeah, so then, if we were in a coaching session, I would ask you something like, so what was it about that really touched you, right? That would be a coaching.
Can we have a quick coaching?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So what was it about that spoke to you and continues to speak to you?
Because in what we do in our business, being on the radio, there's always something that needs practice, and we practice it, and we practice it, and we practice it, and it's reps. It's just like anything, bodybuilding, whatever. So what spoke to me is that's a direct application to what we do. Yeah. And as the person who is trying to lead our programming team, we need to practice. We cannot forget the basics. I'm sure Jimmy Johnson, when he was saying this quote, was still having his players come out and run those same drills every single day. It's like when we do math, we start with addition, then subtraction, then multiplication, then division, but you never stop adding, subtracting, and multiplying just because you get to division. It's all foundational things, and that's what spoke to me, is the broad application for it.
So how do you keep doing that? Because sometimes we probably don't feel like it. We're not energized. Mm-hmm. Lots of stuff going on. So how do you, in those moments, how do you still carry that on?
I always give examples of where I see staff doing those basics, and reinforce that and give because I mean it, and it's not just hyperbole. I mean it when I say I notice those basics, and if you continue to do that, which I highly encourage you do, it's one of the goals, then you can only stand to improve. Yeah. And when you do better, everyone does better.
Yeah, so good, isn't it?
Do you want to coach me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we start?
So what's something in your life like that quote? What's one thing that perhaps your grandparents or a mentor or somebody shared with you? What would that be?
A piece of life advice, perhaps?
Yeah, a quote or something.
I think something that I keep in my mind a lot is fake it till you make it. Walk like you know where you're going. Mm-hmm. I think for me personally, sometimes I have very, very big emotions, and they get the better of me, and I don't always like for people to see those things, so I try to keep them a little bit more hidden in the fake it like till you make it type of thing.
Is that true?
It's very true. Yes.
I am an incredibly emotional person.
Yeah.
If I'm not between here, if I'm not here, I'm crying. If I'm too happy, I'm crying. If I'm upset, I'm crying. If I'm angry, frustrated, anything, I'm crying.
That's why
a lot.
Katie had asked me years ago, because we've known each other and worked together the same amount of time. So since 2009, we've worked together. Yeah. And she would always say to me, Tiny, what do I do if I'm doing this and I mess up? And I've always told her 2 words: keep going. Yeah. Because most of the time, people don't have any idea you did. And if they did notice, they realize you're human just like they are. So you can't lose in that scenario if you just keep going.
Yeah, you beat yourself up.
Oh, it's intense.
But but realistically, though, Randy, don't we all?
Yeah, we do.
And if we don't, then I think we get to that. Either you are indifferent and don't care if you don't beat yourself up, or you have reached what I just said earlier. Apparently, that pinnacle where you don't need to improve. I'll never have a harsher critic than myself. Yeah. When I was growing up and would get the report cards, if it would have a grade or a mark that I didn't like, I was so disappointed in myself. All the other kids were worried, oh my goodness, my parents are going to find out. Yeah. Forget my parents. I mean, nothing mom or dad is going to do to me is going to make it worse than I'm feeling right now with that disappointment, that I would go home dejected, say, here's my report card. Don't worry though, I've already talked to the teacher, and I was always I never wanted those bad marks on the report card. And that goes with life too. Who wants bad marks? Yeah. But I've always learned more from my mistakes than I have from my successes. And I value them more than I do the successes.
Do you think there's a way that, when you're beating yourself up, you feel it in your body, right? You feel like down. Mm-hmm. Is there a way that you could get the same results of continuing to get past that without beating yourself up, but just realize, hey, you know what? I need to keep growing. I need to keep changing and getting better without the beating yourself up part. Is there a way that you could do that?
Maybe just education. Through education, the more you know, the more you educate yourself, the less. I don't know.
Yeah, like when you beat yourself up, it's not a good feeling.
No,
right?
It's terrible. Right? Yeah.
So why would we want to do that to ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. So how do we? You know what? That didn't go as well as I wanted.
How can I learn for next time?
How can I learn? Like, do you know Thomas Edison? Right? Awesome story. He in the early 1900s, he had like a 8-facility invention campus, and just before Christmas, it all burnt. Like, imagine watching your life's work burning. Something profound he said to his kids was, "Kids, get your mom because she'll never see a fire this grand again." Could you imagine, right? Imagine what our responses would be, beating ourselves up. How could I do that? How did I, right? That's the beating ourselves up. But his attitude was, right, get your mom.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. And then he rebuilt, and then he invented more stuff for like a decade after that.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the best, I thought you were going to go here with Thomas Edison. Yeah. One of the best quotes that he had was, there was over 100 times that he, quote unquote, we would probably say he failed the light bulb experiment. Yeah. And when he was questioned about it, and they said, well, how did you deal with the fact that you failed 100 times to get it successful? He said, I didn't fail 100 times. He said, I just found 100 ways to not make a light bulb.
That's it, right?
Put the spin on it.
Yeah, so maybe awareness, right? Awareness, we don't have to beat ourselves up. We've learned to do that since an early age, but it doesn't feel good. Mm-mm. So what if we kind of take some of Thomas Edison's thinking and say, hey, you know what? Oh, there it is again. beating myself up, it's not helping. More beneficial approach would be then fill in the blank.
Turn the negative energy into positive energy.
And why don't we celebrate ourselves more too? If we're so quick to beat each other up, or beat ourselves up, not each other.
Well, it depends on how much you get on my nerves.
Why aren't we celebrating? When we do something great. Hey, that was awesome! As much as we are prone to beat ourselves up. But listen, Randy, I could talk to you all day long.
Yeah, we could.
And I would love for you to life coach me. I've always wanted a life coach. How can people find you?
Well, a couple of ways. Randy@realpd.com. That's my email.
REEL.
Right? And I'll keep it real, I promise. And
I really like that.
there you go. Fast student.
Pun queen, buddy. Pun queen.
Or my cell phone, 717-414-6064. So either way.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This was fun.
Yeah,
Thank you, Randy. Really enjoyed that.
This was really great.
I feel like we should have you back for like a monthly segment. Coaching people
that'd
up.
be great.
I really do.
Yes,
that'd be great.
I do love free therapy. I'm just kidding.
We all do.
Right. Yeah.
Coming up, we're going to take our last look at news and sports, and it's all powered by Virtus Men's Health in Hagerstown. They do have telehealth available. You can find them online at virtusmenshealth.com.
Hamilton Run Golf Course in the city of Hagerstown is now open for the 2024 season. Get outside and play a challenging and affordable round of golf. No tee times required. This public 9-hole course is designed for all skill levels, even beginners. Golf clubs available to rent for $10. Enjoy a quick, competitive, and affordable round of golf compared to other local courses. Adult beverages, snacks, and golf merchandise available at the clubhouse. Get your season pass now. Visit the Greens at Hamilton Run Facebook page or the website HagerstownGreens.com for more info.
Getting on the road is easier than you think. Schedule a test ride today at M&S Harley Davidson to find the one. Let freedom inspire you. Fresh ideas, fresh bikes, your own style, your own choice. Grab hold of the Harley Davidson experience and create the hottest bike on the road. Wind, miles, freedom begins at M&S Harley Davidson. 160 Falling Spring Road off exit 16 of I-81 in Chambersburg. Call 717-709-9650. M&S Harley Davidson. They fulfill dreams of personal freedom.
Shelters are full across the country, and the Humane Society of Washington County is no exception. Hundreds of animals are in care between the shelter and foster homes. They need your help. Please consider adopting a pet or volunteer. Help walk dogs, wash and fold laundry, distribute food from the pet food bank. Have a garage, warehouse, barn, or other suitable shelter? Adopt a working cat. You can save a life. Adopt a pet from the Humane Society of Washington County, and remember to have your pets spayed or neutered. Learn more ways to help at hswcmd.org.
Everybody's athletic journey is different. Some athletes might find themselves injured, and others are looking to get back into their favorite activity. At Meritus Sports Medicine, our expert team will support the unique needs of athletes of all ages and levels, from youth to professional. Conveniently located at the Valley Mall, our new facility boasts leading-edge technology and the compassionate local care everyone deserves. Our expert team will develop individual treatment plans guided by the needs and goals of each athlete. To learn more, visit meritushealth.com/sportsmedicine.
Hey, it's Cody from Bell Jewelers. Are you looking for the perfect gift? Bell Jewelers has you covered. We are a family-owned jewelry store here in Chambersburg. We offer the largest selection of natural and lab diamonds in the area. Explore our exquisite collections from Levion, Simon G, and Pandora. Whether it's a gift for a special occasion or just because, you will find the perfect piece at Bell Jewelers. Plus, with our in-house jeweler, you can trust us for all your custom designs and repairs. Stop by and see us on Norland Avenue in Chambersburg. Bell Jewelers, your diamond destination.
Have those big box stores tricked you into believing you're getting a good deal on your new cabinets for your kitchen? And you believe that sales type who moments ago was helping someone select a new grill? Spend 20 minutes with Dick's Cabinetry and Flooring and you could save hundreds, even thousands of dollars on your new kitchen. Bring your blueprint. A second opinion is always free at Dick's Cabinetry and Flooring. Trust them. It's what they specialize in. It's in their name. Dick's Cabinetry and Flooring, Lincoln Way East, Chambersburg.
It's that time of year again. Chambersburg Waste Paper is back with its third annual Halloween party. Friday, October 25th from 6 to 9 p.m. There's a haunted hayride, a kids inflatable wagon ride, costume contest, candy giveaway, DJ, and of course, delicious food. Plus, free pumpkins for everyone. New this year, we'll have a haunted house. Last year was amazing, and we can't thank you enough for your support. So grab your friends, your family, and your best costumes, and come out for a spectacular evening of fun. Mark your calendars for the spookiest night of the season at CWP, Friday, October 25th.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Let's talk Tri-State. Are you an outstanding citizen in the borough of Chambersburg? The borough of Chambersburg is seeking nominations for an individual or organization to receive the Mike Waters Citizen of the Year Award for 2024. This award, which is presented on an annual basis, will go to the person or organization that best exemplifies the type of services that Waters provided to the community during his lifetime. Nominations can be sent no later than this Friday, so you still have a few days to get on that. And you can email them to jwright, JWRIGHT, at chambersburgpa.gov. The award winner will be announced at the town council meeting on Monday the 18th. So again, those nominations must be in by this Friday, and that is for the Mike Waters Citizen of the Year Award in the borough of Chambersburg.
And I'll add to that at chambersburgpa. Is it .org or .gov?
It's .gov.
At chambersburgpa.gov, if you wanted to see what the criteria are for that award, it's all listed there. And there's also, if you want to enter by mail, you can do that as well. All that info is at chambersburgpa.gov.
As soon as I was reading this, I started thinking, I wonder how you nominate, who is allowed the nomination. So if you want to get those guidelines there, you can do that online. And again, that will be announced on Monday the 18th, and we'll bring you that information as soon as we get that.
We will. And I love this again. Last week we talked about things that Franklin Hospice is doing for veterans with the free breakfast.
Yes.
Here's something Hagerstown Community College is doing that I absolutely love. The Dental Education Clinic at HCC is going to be offering free dental cleanings and other preventative services to the first 100 vets to sign up by appointment on November 11th and 13th.
That is great. Yeah, that is great.
Services will be provided by HCC students with oversight by trained dental professionals, and obviously these are students who are in the dental hygienist program.
Sure, I figured.
Not just, if Katie were taking classes there and just wants to go clean
Hey, I want to
teeth.
go clean teeth, sure.
Treatments include complete dental hygiene exams, assessment of teeth and gums, dental cleanings, referrals as needed, and other preventative services. If you'd like to make an appointment or learn more, 240-500-2569 or email dentalclinic@hagerstowncc.edu.
This is a great program because the students get some extra, hands-on real-life experience. And you said, how many people? 100? Get these free services, and it can be expensive. You know how expensive dental work can be, and especially if you put off going to the dentist and you put off going to the dentist, it's scary to then go for the first time. So this makes everybody feel more comfortable, more at ease.
And not to mention, because you've recently dealt with this too, it's now, a lot of times, it's difficult to get into a dentist. It's one of those things, well, we're booking 6 months in advance, or we're booking a year in some cases. With this, you can at least get there and kind of get an idea of how your teeth are doing and your overall oral health. Now, again, as Katie said, 100 people. This is limited to 100 vets. And I do not know, I read into this, I didn't see any criteria of if you have to be from Hagerstown or live in Hagerstown or Washington County. My assumption is you don't, but make sure that you get that proper information online at hagerstowncc.edu. The email address, once again, is dentalclinic@hagerstowncc.edu.
You know what I think we should do?
What's that?
Let's find out what's going on with sports. Last night was a big night.
Oh, it was a big night.
It really was. So, Andy, what's going on with sports today?
Lots of action in the NFL this past weekend. It all kicked off at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in London as the Bears took on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chicago Bears came out on top 35-16. The Green Bay Packers then took on the Cardinals. The Packers won 34-13. The Titans took on the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts coming away the winner against the Tennessee Titans 20-17. While the Texans and the Patriots battled each other, the Texans blowing out the Patriots 41-21. And the New Orleans Saints lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had one of the highest scoring games in franchise history, scoring 51 points to the New Orleans Saints 27 points. The Philadelphia Eagles came away with a win against the Cleveland Browns 20-16. The Washington Commanders fell to the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore 30-23, while the Broncos lost a heartbreaker to the Chargers 23-16. The Steelers came away with a big win against the Las Vegas Raiders 32-13. The Detroit Lions decimated the Dallas Cowboys 47-9, while the Atlanta Falcons notched a win over the Carolina Panthers 38-20. And in Sunday Night Football, it was a defensive battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants, with the Cincinnati Bengals coming out on top 17-7. Tonight in Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills take on the New York Jets. That game starts at 8:15. In Major League Baseball action, the playoffs have been well underway, and they've been nothing short of exciting. The Dodgers notched a win against the San Diego Padres on Friday night, making them the winner of the series for the National League Divisional Series 3-2. The Dodgers then notched a win over the New York Mets, starting the National League Championship Series out with a bang. They beat them 9-0 Sunday night. The Los Angeles Dodgers now lead the series 1-0. In American League Divisional Series action, the Cleveland Guardians notched a win against the Detroit Tigers, moving them into the American League Championship Series, where they will take on the New York Yankees. That game starting tonight at 7:38. In other MLB action tonight, the Los Angeles Dodgers will take on the New York Mets. The Los Angeles Dodgers lead the series 1-0. In college football action over the weekend, Arizona State beat Utah 27-19 Friday night. And on Saturday, the Texas Longhorns, undefeated still, beat the Oklahoma Sooners 34-3. The Oregon Ducks came away with the win against the Ohio State Buckeyes in a close one, 32-31, while Penn State notched a win against USC 33-30. Georgia beat Mississippi State 41-31. Alabama came out in a close one against South Carolina, beating them 27-25. The Tennessee Volunteers took down the Florida Gators 23-17, while the LSU Tigers beat Ole Miss 29-26 in a thrilling overtime ending. Clemson crushed Wake Forest 49-14, while Notre Dame beat Stanford 49-7. Iowa State took down West Virginia 28-16, and BYU beat Arizona 41-19. Boise State took on Hawaii and came away the winner 28-7, while Kansas State beat Colorado 31-28. Missouri took on Massachusetts, coming away the winner 45-3, while Pittsburgh beat California in a close one 17-15. And Illinois took on Purdue, beating them 50-49 in a thrilling win.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach at 921thegoat.com.
Hey, it's Britt and Court from Black & Blush Boutique. Fall is in the air. We just released our fall collection with the perfect pieces to update your wardrobe. Visit us at our downtown location on South Main Street in Chambersburg.
Download our free app and stream our live sales every Thursday night.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on events and specials. We can't wait to see you.
Black & Blush Boutique.
Trendy, modern, made for you.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Let's talk Tri-State. Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors. The Right Choice winner of the 2024 Best of the Tri-State.
You have been waiting to sing that part
What
all
part?
week last week, weren't you?
What do you mean?
Let's Talk Tri-State.
Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie. Yes, it is a catchy little jingle, but we are most certainly in what I like to call the burr months.
True.
Not just September, October, November, but it's cold.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful weekend, sunshine and 70s. When I was driving home, I went to go visit my family over the weekend. It was 81 when I was driving home yesterday, and now I wake up and it was 40 something when I left this morning. So we're definitely feeling the chill.
Today is that perfect fall day, cloudy, winds blowing.
Yes.
This is the day that you want if you're going to do a pumpkin patch or if you're going to do the pumpkin carving.
And maybe you're not sure where to go for these type of events. Allow us to tell you about some of the things that you can enjoy here in Franklin County. The Haunted Jail, Haunted Hollywood. That is going on Friday and Saturday, the 18th and 19th. Is that this Friday and Saturday
It is,
already?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then next Friday and Saturday, the Franklin County's Old Jail, which is located on West King Street in Chambersburg. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a perfect place to make into one of these types of events. I know years ago I went to the penitentiary in Philadelphia.
They still do that?
They do.
Okay.
but it's become such a touristy thing
Yeah.
that it's no longer, at least when I went, it wasn't any more like you went in a group. It's just a big line and you just go in and out. So it kind of
Proof that
loses.
you see something.
Yeah, it kind of loses its appeal, but it's still really fun. But anyway, for the Haunted Jail, if you wanted to get more information on that, that is franklinhistorical.org/Halloween. And how about, we love mazes.
Oh yeah.
We think they are amazing.
Well, I don't like the corn mazes.
Amazing.
No, they're amazing.
Amazing.
Yes. No, I get it.
The haunted, and before I get into this one, I was reading something that in the United States there are 38 corn mazes that have been made to look like Luke Bryan. 38.
Of all people, it's interesting that it would be him.
He is the biggest. He is the. How do I want to word this?
He's the corniest country singer.
There are the most corn mazes created after Luke Bryan in the country.
Maybe it's because he has the rain makes corn, corn makes.
Yeah, I just thought that was crazy. But corn mazes are so much fun, but especially when they're haunted. And the Haunted Maze Night, that is Saturday the 26th and November 2nd at Stoner's Dairy Farm, which is a place that we love in Mercersburg.
I was just there yesterday.
Oh, were you really?
We did, yeah, we did.
You take Reagan and do a little pumpkin
Yep, did
picking?
the pumpkin patch, the hayride, the what else did we do? Well, they have of course, she loves the simplest things. So they have this where they have a water pump, and you can send a rubber duck for $1. You go inside, buy a rubber duck, and the water shoots over, and it's kind of a ramp, and then the person on the other side picks up the duck and brings it back. And she could just stood there for hours.
And is it $1 unlimited as many times as you want?
Well, yeah, you go and buy the duck, the rubber
okay.
duck. That's yours, and then you can go out there and do it as much as you want.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah. The Haunted Corn Maze is $10, and if you would like to get more information on that, you can also bring a flashlight. That's kind of cool. That's online at stonersdairyfarm.com, and we love Stoners.
Yeah,
Remember
awesome.
when
Such good people.
they had the petting farm the one year we went?
They still do.
Oh, do they? Okay, with the goats. I remember the goats.
Yeah, they didn't have any goats. So what they had yesterday, I don't know if they changed, animals over the season, but they had a calf, which I don't know how you judge how old, but it's so sweet and soft, and just, I think his name was Logan, and just beautiful. Then there were 2 pigs, which were enormous. I mean, massive. One of them, we walked in, and Mary's a big animal person, and obviously Reagan is a huge animal lover, and I'm indifferent to it. It doesn't really, I pet the cow, but as I was just standing there, Mary and Reagan went up to pet the cow, and this pig starts walking over as if he wants some of this attention.
He's jealous.
So he walks over to Mary and Reagan and essentially pushes them out of the way to come to me and brush up against my leg like a cat.
And you were like, I'm not an animal person.
And I look down, and it's like, just imagine, a massive 400-pound Winnie, but instead of hearing meow, meow, you go, and I'm like, what in the world? This pig wants me to do something. I don't know what it is, though.
Sure, that's how Mary feels every night.
That is very true, yeah. But they also had a couple chickens, 3 bunnies, and as far as the animals go, I think that was it. But they were all very sweet and very docile.
That's really cute. The Shippensburg Halloween Parade, that's on the 26th on King Street at 7 p.m. That is the 37th annual event. And then Mercersburg is going to have their parade on Monday the 28th at 7 p.m. Buchanan Trail West, that's the 79th annual parade. You can find more information on that one on Facebook.
That Mercersburg, I'm sure it is in Shippensburg too, but I haven't been to that one. But that Mercersburg parade, Halloween parade, is a big deal.
Is it?
Massive deal. We did it one year, remember?
I don't.
It was early on. It was probably the fall of 2009 where we had just started doing radio together.
Okay.
And that, literally, we started kind of in September or October, and we
just went rocking and rolling right in there.
We did, yeah.
Does Greencastle have a Halloween parade?
No, we just have the Christmas parade.
I was thinking that might be the closest for me to enjoy.
I think you love it.
I do love a Halloween parade. I love any kind of parade. But the Washington Township Police Department Trunk or Treat, who doesn't love Trunk or Treat?
Who doesn't love Washington Township?
And that's Waynesboro, this tiny stomping grounds there. That will be on Friday the 18th between 5 and 7 p.m. on Buchanan Trail East. And then the Waynesboro Recreation Board Trunk or Treat is on a Tuesday, the 22nd, between 6 and 8 p.m. That's at Waynesboro Memorial Park, food trucks, and a free movie. Any idea what the movie is?
I don't.
Okay.
You're just really teasing us with that.
A free movie. We don't know what it is. You better stop by to find out.
Speaking of Waynesboro, if I could, this doesn't have anything to do with Halloween, but over the weekend, surprise to no one, we went to Lowe's, and our air conditioner was on the fritz, and we're trying to get a thermostat. But anyway, we get to Lowe's, and Mary had known about this. The Washington Township Police Department, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, I believe the Coroner's Office, and I think Blue Ridge Summit Fire and EMS were all over on the one side of the Lowe's parking lot. They had it blocked off, and they had brought all their emergency equipment, the police cars, and had their tables set up, and you could walk around, and just to kind of educate people on, hey, we're here, here's what we do, and meet the community. And it was really well attended. All of them had coloring books, obviously geared toward children. All of them had coloring books, and the little.
I know a lot of adults who like to color.
Well, the little badges that you can get, the sheriff's badges. So I'm trying to push Reagan out of the way so that I can get this, and she's just not giving in. But I just thought events like that, I'm sure they happen elsewhere, but I see so much of that in Waynesboro that it just really warms my heart when they're out there, because all of the police officers and emergency personnel are so nice, love what they do, and you can tell that they really, despite when you pass by someone or you get pulled over yourself, that just kind of is a product of speeding or whatever. But in reality, they love the community. So props to Washington Township Police Department and everyone who was involved in that. It was really good.
This is something I've noticed about this area, and I'm sure that I noticed it before, but I moved back to the Tri-State about a year and a half ago. And part of it is our job. We are very active in the community, and we get to work with a lot of lovely organizations. But there is always an event happening that you can bring the family, a family-friendly event, a lot of times free admission, something entertaining for the kids and for the adults. And I do love being a part of that, and we're finding out so many more being a part of this show. There are so many opportunities to take the family, make some memories, and do something in the community. It's great.
And I got to give massive props to Lowe's, because they are always allowing those events to be held in their parking lot. And they do assume a liability when they allow that. And the fact that they're willing to do that, so big props to them. I know Lowe's is very military community oriented, and it doesn't surprise me that they do it, but they should get some recognition too.
Let's go back to Stoner's Dairy Farm again. They have their trick-or-treat night on the 23rd between 6 and 8 on, is it Olings Road? Am I saying that correctly?
Sure.
I think it's Olig Road in Mercersburg, and that is for 10 and younger. You are invited to collect candy while walking through the 5-acre corn maze. Admission is free, but there are barrel train rides for $1 and hay rides for only $2. The event is limited to the first 300 children while supplies last. I think that speaks volumes to how big of an event it is that they have to limit it to 300. I mean, that's a lot of people.
We got there early yesterday, and they open at noon on Sundays. We were there, I'd say probably about 11:30, because we didn't realize they opened at noon. No big deal. It's a beautiful day. Put the windows down and just sit there and just enjoy the surroundings, which is just nothing but nature, and I loved it. But at noon, that place
was
filled up.
Sure.
It was a line of people to get in. I was amazed at how quickly it filled up.
And they have really good ice cream there, too.
They have good everything. I got chicken corn soup, and it was top-notch.
Let's talk about trick-or-treat on Main Street, Saturday the 26th in downtown Chambersburg. We talked about this last week, but businesses right along and right off, North and South Main Streets are going to be handing out candy. You can head to the Courthouse Plaza at 1:15 for a costume contest, not just for kids, but for adults.
We know where Katie will be.
Franklin County Trunk or Treat, Tuesday the 29th in Chambersburg area, Middle School North on Scotland Avenue. They are seeking donations of unopened candy through the 28th at the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. So that could be something as well that you can check out in Franklin County.
And then we have some stuff going on in Washington County, Hagerstown specifically. We figured that we would, as we told you last week, when we do these updates, we'll keep you updated on what's coming up this weekend in these areas.
There's so much to keep track of, too.
How about some ghost tours? Katie loves this. Fridays of the 18th and 25th, so the remaining Fridays in October, and Saturday the 19th, that's this Saturday, 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., Jonathan and Hager House Museum, Key Street in Hagerstown, basically City Park. For ages 10 and older, 1-hour indoor tour, limited space available, $15 to register. HagerHouse.org is where you can get all that information. Also, there is a 1-hour walking tour on Legends of the City Park for $10, and that's hosted by Hagerstown Parks and Rec. I think you should do that.
HagerHall.com.
No, it's
Hager House.
House.
HagerHouse.com. Let me convert it to memory. Got it.
Fall Festival Trunk or Treat happening this Saturday 1 until 4 at Hagerstown Church of the Brethren. That's on Mulberry Street. Food, children's carnival, games, moon bounce, kids crafts, balloon man, bingo, cakewalk. Ooh, I love that. Sweet treats, popcorn, trunk or treat, costume contest for children. Everyone welcome, and everything is free while supplies last.
What is a cakewalk?
You've never done a cakewalk?
No.
Okay. musical chairs. Yes.
Yes, and I can kind of deduce what it is, but
same concept, but with cakes. People donate cakes to be cakes, pies usually, but primarily cakes. And I don't know about this particular one, but when I was growing up, we would do them at family and church reunions, and I mean people would go all out making their best recipe cakes, right? So let's say you have 15 cakes. So then, just like musical chairs, play the music, walk around, and there's just spots. So it's like squares or circles, and then if you get on a spot, one person's not going to, they're eliminated. And then it continues, and then you wind up getting the particular cake for that time. So
do you have to eat it?
I can't remember if it's one cake per round of doing that, or if it's you just keep walking around, and whatever one you land on, everyone gets that particular cake that they're on for that space. I'm not sure.
So cake walk, this is not at all what I was thinking. For a cake walk, I'm thinking you walk down and grab some samples of cake until they've run out. This is actually not even kind of close to that.
Yeah, if you do that at an actual cake walk, people will probably frown upon that.
I don't think they would like that.
Katie shows up with a fork. Like, oh, this one looks good.
Just
and
leisurely walking around.
Everyone gets their cakes home like, what is this?
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. I like that cakewalk.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun, and people get really competitive over it too. There's the annual downtown Halloween block party happening Friday the 25th. This is 5:30 to 7:30 South Potomac Street in Hagerstown. This is the one that's going to be right in front of the Maryland Theater.
Okay. Yes, we talked about this last week.
It's trick or treat down South Potomac Street from businesses and organizations that are set up on the street. There's a bounce house and prizes for best costume, all hosted by the city of Hagerstown. Here we go. Katie's favorite, if you haven't noticed. The 12th annual Halloween dog costume and parade, Saturday the 26th. 11 a.m. Fairgrounds Park in Hagerstown. It's pet-friendly treats and vendors. 6 prize categories: best friends, pets with kids ages 12 and younger, and groups. Fun activities. Early registration is $10 by Friday the 25th noon. On-site registration goes up to $15. HagerstownMD.org/dog costume parade. All hosted by Hagerstown Parks and Rec.
Yeah, that one sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just want to go and pet the dogs.
You should.
That's all I want to do is just pet the dogs.
You absolutely should. Maybe they'd let you judge something.
I would love to judge something. I'm not a very judgmental person, but...
And we've said, as far as the official trick-or-treats go, a lot of townships, cities, and towns are not officially endorsing. They merely recommend this is when we would suggest you do it. Most everywhere is
Tuesday,
6 to 8 p.m.
On Tuesday the 31st.
On Thursday the 31st.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Now, if you can find Halloween this year on Tuesday the 31st, by all means, trick-or-treat your hearts out. But on Thursday the 31st, this year, 6 to 8 p.m., Boonesboro and in Hagerstown, but again, that goes for Shippensburg, Chambersburg. I have yet to find a township or a town in our area that's not Halloween 6 to 8 p.m.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that information.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's going to wrap up our Monday edition of Let's Talk Tri-State. And so let's do it again tomorrow, and let's make sure that we thank our sponsor, Legend Bar in Chambersburg. You can satisfy your sports fix at Legends Bar and game day specials and cold brews. They are located on
No, it's actually Hollywell Avenue.
Hollywell Avenue. I keep saying that incorrectly. I'm so sorry. Hollywell Avenue in Chambersburg. And let's do it again tomorrow at noon. Let's talk Tri-State. Let's talk Tri-State.
We'll see you there.
Jets beat writer for the New York Post, Brian Costello. And now, filling in for Rich, it's Kirk Morrison.